All right, good morning functions. Go ahead and start this warm up. This is something that you should be able to do. We will talk a little bit about the domain. So if that part's getting you stuck, go ahead and just find what f divided by g of x is, and then we will go over domain. So go ahead and hit pause. Okay, so f divided by, let's see, there we go. F divided by g of x is just f of x divided by g of x. And remember, we're just going to take this and substitute that in for this. And we know what this equals, so we're going to substitute that. So if we know that that's true, then we have 3x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 3. So that is what we're going to do. Now to talk about the domain. So the domain of this is going to be a little bit crazy. So the domain of f is negative infinity to infinity, and the domain of g is negative infinity to infinity, because we've got a quadratic and we've got a linear. So we know what those are, but with any rational function, and when we see that word rational, we should think fractional. A fraction is an expression. Fractional, an expression that is a fraction. Then we must exclude the values that make the denominator 0, right? Because friends don't let friends divide by 0. So if we're not going to divide by 0, then we have to figure out. So typically when I do this, I set it not equal to 0. So I just put a slash through it. So x squared minus 3 not equal to 0. And then I solve it just as if it were. So then I get x squared. So I added 3 to both sides. Then I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I end up with, and anytime we take a square root of an unknown, I end up with x is plus or minus the square root of 3. Okay, now what I want to do is look at the graph. So give me 1 second. I'm going to hit pause, and then I'm going to bring up the graph. Okay, so I know that my vertical asymptotes when I'm looking at this are going to be the square root of 3 plus or minus the square root of 3, right? So when I'm looking at this graph is going forever negative, so it's going to have negative infinity. And then my first vertical asymptote, which is going to be right here, is going to be the square root of 3. It's going to get really close to the square root of 3. It's never going to equal the square root of 3. So the first part of my domain is going to be, here, I'll type it here. My first part of the domain is going to be negative infinity to the square root of 3, a negative square root of 3, sorry, this is the negative side, and I'm going to have that union. Let's see if I can, you look on the, I don't know if it'll have union, no, okay, then we're going to do union, it's not a U, but a union. And then make sure you use the right notation. Then we're going to say from here, it's negative square root of 3 all the way to positive square root of 3. So we're going to have negative to positive. Okay? And then we're going to have that union again, and then we're going to say that it's from the positive of the square root of 3, oops, not underneath the root, but on the outside, all the way to infinity. So that is going to be our domain, because we're saying it goes from here to here, but then it jumps, and then it's going to go from here to here, and then it jumps again, and then it's going to go from here all the way to infinity. So that's what that says. So if you were to graph this, so you can graph it in Desmos, but I had a lot of students ask me today in class, but what about, what if I wanted to graph it during a test? And I would say to you, that's a good question. Maybe my coffee cup out of there. So what you're going to want to do is turn your calculator on. You're going to want to go to y equals, and then you're going to type. So make sure you have your numerator in parentheses. So I do. My numerator's in parentheses. And then my X button, so I did parentheses 3X, which is right underneath the mode key. Let me see if I can focus this a little bit better. There we go. And then X3X plus 4, parenthesis, divided. So that's how I get that. And then I did the X key again, which is right here, so parenthesis, X key, X, and then I used my x squared, which is right here, underneath here, and then I did minus 3. Okay, so you do all of that, then you go to zoom, which is the middle button at the very top. You're going to type the number 6, or scroll all the way down, and then it'll graph it for you. So again, I can see that again. But the biggest key, the biggest thing to remember here is that you need to find that value of x that's going to make it 0. So your graph can tell you a lot of things. It can tell you how many sections you're going to have, like this one had 3 asymptotes. But knowing that exact value that it's going to, because right here it looks like -2 to me, but it's not. It's actually the negative square root of 3. So that's how you're going to find that. So you have to do it algebraically and graphically. All right, so I'm going to hit pause again, and then we're going to get back to the assignment. Okay, so when we're looking at that, we set it all, we did that work already. So thus the domain is a negative infinity to negative square root of 3 union negative square root of 3 to square root of 3 union square root of 3 to negative infinity. That's what that says. All right. If you have any questions, please come to class with that. Write your question down. Put it in your notes so that you can be like, hey, Clark, I had a question on the video yet last night or whatever. So make sure you're asking me those questions. All right. This has a lot of words. Here's what I want you to hear or read or hear what I'm going to say. So when functions f and g, the domains of f plus g, f minus g, and f times g, when they're all real numbers, which we've already said at the beginning of this, we're never going to leave that universe. We're going to stay in all real numbers, so no imaginary numbers. Then the domains of f and g. So then all real numbers, so then it's going to be the intersection of the domains of f and g, meaning it's going to include all the same whatever they both have. So if they both have negative infinity to infinity, then they're both going to be negative infinity to infinity. But the domain of f divided by g, that is in all real numbers, is the intersection of the domains f and g, for which where x does not equal 0. The denominator in the x in the denominator does not equal 0. Meaning, you need to find your excluded values. That's what it's saying to you. Find those excluded values. So we're going to do that. So we are going to be dividing with functions. The thing that we're going to be doing is we need to simplify. So if you get a fraction that says 2 divided by 4, I would expect that you would tell me it was 1 over 2. Or if you get 15 divided by 18, I would expect that that says 5 divided by 6. So make sure that we are simplifying. So that is true with expressions. So with functions that have letters in it, so variables. All right, so we are going to do that. So we're going to find f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 1. We're going to find f of x plus h minus f of x all divided by h. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to find f of x plus h. So let's do that. Another thing that we really need to remember is that x plus h is a binomial, meaning we probably need to put this in a box. So if I were to do that, it would be right here. Ooh, that box is terrible, but it'll work. Okay, so I'm going to have x plus h, x plus h. Binomial equals box. We should see square, think square. When we see a binomial squared, put it in a box. So that's where we get the x squared, xh, xh, and then h squared. Obviously, I've already done that. So we end up, and we combine our like terms, which are right here. These are the same. That's why I wrote xh, plus I multiplied x times h, then x times h. So make sure that we're carefully doing that. All right, then we need to distribute that 3, and we end up with 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared minus 1. All right, so now we found this. So this right here, this right here goes with this. We're going to replace it. We put it all together with this, and we get a different color. And this one, we're going to replace with this one right here. We already know what that is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put both of those together. So it says now subtract f of x from f of x plus h. So again, this is this one, and I'll do the red ones in here. So right here, this is the blue part. That's where we did that. That whole thing is being replaced by this whole thing. All right, so I'm going to write this out in a different color so that we can see, because we have to make sure that we distribute. We need to make sure we distribute this negative to both places. So we're going to end up with, I'm going to write it right here, but you'll see it simplified down here. So we're going to end up with 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared minus 1 minus 3x squared plus 1. Negative 1 times negative 3x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 1 times a negative 1 is a positive 1. All right, so this number right here is a like term with this one. And negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And then we have this right here is the same term. It's an x squared just like that. And negative and positive 3x squared minus 3x squared is 0. So the only thing we're left with is that 6h, my goodness, 6xh plus 3h squared. All right, now, lastly, we got to plug all that in and divide by h. So when we do that, we can factor this. I can see right away that I can factor this. So I can factor like that. I do this, I can see right away that, you can see right away that there's a 3 in both of those coefficients, so I'll pull out a 3, and they both have an h, so I'll pull out an h, and 3h times 6h, 3h times something gives me 6xh, and that's going to be 2x, and 3h times h gives me 3h squared. So then I end up with 3h times 2x plus h all over h. So then I want to find my big 1, and since this is all being multiplied, now I can simplify. I can multiply this, or simplify that as 1. That's a 1. It's a big 1. So then I'm left with 3 times 2x plus h all over 1, which is actually simplified to 3 times 2x plus h. And that would be my final answer. So always check to see if you can factor. It won't be any factoring that you haven't done before, so you're just going to be looking for that GCF, difference of squares, and factoring box and diamond, trinomials. If you have any questions, please let me know. Tomorrow we're going to learn 2 other ways to divide rational expressions. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.